how things get into this game. Will RBG have a successful CT run? Are Triumph going to be chomping at their heels the whole time? Only time will tell. And we're straight into the pistol. Triumph, they do have that one set of util, but there is very little here for RBG. Just a kit, a couple flashes on Walco.
That's a decoy. However, Eight's going to be headed over very quickly to the apartments. Jitter's getting ready for the peek out to come through. They do have a nice little setup for this. Walco can rotate over with a couple of good flashes as well, but Jitter's the one who has to hit the shots. Can't quite isolate the one in the back lines, and Wiz is only good for a single. Exceed on the bomb side, and here they go. Already Triumph having so much control, and Walco simply can't get in position in time. And the 3v4 flashes might be present, Michael, but I'm not favoring their chances.
Yeah, they're prepping here on the side of Triumph just to bleed out more time and then go for these swings. Hex is creeping forward.
Oh, Hex is peeking out wide, but it's B-Wills to shut him down in the meanwhile.
Oh, Chop answering back with 2. Now it's just George. 1v2, and they do have a kit on Walco. Has to try and prevent him from getting onto that defuse, and they're trying to cover him. Getting onto the defuse, Chop's got the 3 that he needs to, and they are sticking it with the kit that was brought forward into the round. RBG, numbers stacked up against them, but still getting the retake and taking the pistol.
And you can see it in Walco's face in the camera. He just looks so relieved for a second. Oh, all right, Chop. Yeah, you keep doing what you're doing right there. That's what I have to say. Chop, though, we've seen that before. Very snappy aim on the pistols. The Deagle is also the weapon he is incredibly threatening with.
And a nice little 1v2 in the opening game as well against Godsent. Also very snappy.
Oh, big nade. It's going down deep, and George and B-Wills are riding home to mama. Don't know if they're going to get a response in time, though, because Jitter has already peeked through. 60, he can respond, and that's nice, but doesn't really cut away the fact that you're still now in a bit of a precarious situation as far as B-Wills' HP is concerned, and haven't really gotten too much ground either for it. This nade. Oh, wow, that's a lot of damage coming in if he pushed forward a little bit further.
I mean, you consider George had no HP. Oh, no. Okay, flash timing in for middle is perfect there for Hex. He's getting away as well, so a numbers advantage. I was going to say that initial trade was great because George was low, and they found a full HP Jitter, but now they're this man down. It's all about this mid-round now for Triumph, being one man less. See, they're thinking about the idea of running back towards B, just investigating, and now with these smokes fading, can approach via these arches. Nobody from RBG will have sightlines.
Hex does, however, still have an incendiary out, so the second Wiz can actually spot them out. This would be an opportunity for him to deploy it immediately. Exceeds given the call that Hex is playing from inside the site. Moto has been smoked off, and with 35 seconds, that incendiary is going to be a pain in the behind if he can get it out in time. Exceeds, one-way smoke out, but he won't have a pit player to deal with anyway. There goes the Molotov, prioritizes apartments instead. Wants to take the close range deal with the MP9, but he doesn't peek out in time. It's Wiz to cover, does so beautifully. 2 quick kills and 60. Left in the 1-on-2.
Has so much of an opportunity to reposition as well here on this 1v2. Can go anywhere because they are so late here on that flank from B. They are doubled up though, so trades are a possibility. It's all about timings here for 60.
Solid angle to be holding. There is a double push coming in from short. Has to make sure that he doesn't double guess himself. And what a trade. Chop to do it again, man. Look at his face. I'm loving the cameras. I don't think we had these yesterday, Michael. No. But I just that face of exasperation, like, oh, what can I even do, man? I shot him in the head, okay? I shot him in the head.
Did I do well? Someone pat me on the back, please. Yeah, doing a great job here on these retakes. Crucial kills and fast ones at that as well from Chop.
Oh, yeah.
Just peeking out a little too wide was 60. But, I mean, how can you blame them? They're basically stacked on top of each other.
Of course. Perfect spacing as well. It's not like RBG had a moment where, you know, it could have been 2 1v1s. This is the version of Chop that I came to see. And well, it does definitely help that Walco is able to peek out and get a quick one as well. Sure, it's an anti-half buy, but like when those half buys, they pack a punch to your wallet. And we've seen a Glock round, so anything's possible.
Yeah, I mean, expectations are all over the place because of that one. That's why you know, you're giving some... Oh, wait, what? Excuse me?
Sometimes it just happens.
All right. Pre-aims the angle, just fires off a shot, and there's a nice catch from Wiz. So, unorthodox trade, but one that Triumph will take.
I believe the technical term for that is why not? And speaking of why nots, job's been broken down. 6C, the man to do it. Leaves RBG in a position where they're heavily reliant on Walco being able to put up or shut up. Flashes smokes all coming over. At least there's no Molotovs, but he needs to come up big with a few. Gets the first, drops the bomb, makes it 2, could be 3. White Peaks out, but 6C close range is good for the Deagle. Hexed, however, fantastic damage being dealt. But the bomb being dropped, he knows it's being moved over. This is more to be found, but he doesn't finish off. It'll have to be found by Jitter instead. Playing opposite the bomb as it's being planted, this makes it 2 easy kills.
Yeah, but I mean, considering that's not a full buy there from Triumph, just these upgraded pistols, they get a number of casualties dealt to the CT side. It's a good economic move from Triumph. They get the bomb plant as well, so extra money on top. Not a comfortable one, that's for sure. And I was going to mention, you know, so you whisper in sweet nothings into Hex's ear ahead of this game. Sending out the tweet like, is he going to be a beast? He's definitely feasting yesterday, even if there was a loss added to the tally. Certainly more opportunities are going to present themselves. Full buys on both sides. 60 on that AWP. That's something that Wiz will be able to contest. These early nades down mid have found so much.
You can't be serious.
We're 4 rounds in. We've seen 2 rounds already where players have just been brought down so low, and it's just a full touchdown. They found a follow-up double nade down deep ramp, and B-Wills never got a chance to shoot back.
I mean, I don't want these guys anywhere close to a construction site, Michael.
Oh,
yeah. Okay, 6C, I'm sorry, but this is just how it's going to be, all right? You sometimes just got to deal with life being unfair, and it's not throwing you lemons. It's really not. Throwing you bloody grenades. Quick. Oh my goodness, that is so sharp. Walco finds the kill on the George regardless. And now comes out that Molotov. Walco's saying, you know what? I can actually pick up that smoke.
Yeah.
I'm going to go take it, guys. Watch me. I'm going to go through the flames. And meanwhile, short is where Wiz is lighting up things and makes sure that they just can't get on. Jitter waits for a flash. Peeks out perfectly. Plays. RBG, I've really got to commend them, man. Their flash timings and coordination for that has been solid.
Yeah, the utility's been super on point on the CT side. Whether it's been the HEs, whether it's been Molotovs, these flash timings, you're right. I mean, they're just seeing where Triumph are headed, and everything is turning up RBG. If this round goes in a similar way, I would expect that Triumph would call a timeout. You see a Wiz on now the AWP. Oh, catches a glimpse. Not enough to convert a shot.
Oh, okay. Knight's not going to do damage this time over. And Walco's, however, might. Oh, man. I've got to take a look at the utility statistic.
George has been having a bad time.
Sorry, George.
He's been on the receiving end of double nades, now getting naded and then dinked with the edge of a wall. He's on 1 HP.
That's so ridiculous.
I feel bad, man. Like, this is actually about as bad as it could get. It doesn't feel like he's had many proper opportunities either.
Just give me a chance, guys. Just one, I'm begging you. I would pay to be able to hear the Team 3 comms of Triumph right now.
It's like, you cannot be serious. I haven't had full HP in any of these rounds.
Oh, Hate's caught out as well, and that's a healthy one from their side. Wiz has managed to get a bit aggressive over there. Finds himself one, a flashbang to keep them from rushing him down. It's going to be helpful as well. But the 2 players inside pit are who they have to deal with. Jitter, the one-way smoke's still there, so you can't actually progress up. And Hex is always good. Good for 1, good for 2, not quite 3, and that's where 60 will end him. But oh no, wait for it. Wiz catches his head. puts it in a headlock. B-Wills, meanwhile, needs to get a quick bump on down. He knows it. He delayed for too long, and now they won't even get the money for it, Michael. Triumph. This isn't working out for them.
Yeah, I feel like this is timeout territory. If not this round, then the next, because this isn't exactly a buy, so maybe not too much to discuss. The thing is, we always talk about mentality in CS.
Yeah.
You know, so much of the game is about, you know, do you have the confidence to do X, Y, Z? And when you're getting kind of blown open by nades and the sort, like that hurts the mentality. Like close rounds as well sometimes affect it. But if you are just constantly in these positions where you don't feel like you can actually win the duel coming up.
Come on!
Like, I'm sorry, man, but George just catches all of it.
And I can't even blame him for being 0-6, Michael.
Yeah, he is the RBG punching bag.
Yeah. It's just like... Oh, gonna hold the point because right now... Okay. Oh, no, it spread. Yeah, it spread. Of course it did. 60's caught out and forced out an angle he's not ready for. But yeah, George is just like... If you have a stress ball in the office and everyone just goes by like, whatever, I'm gonna squeeze it and throw it against the wall. Your turn, okay, your turn. Tuck. Don't feel...
It's just painful.
For the stress ball, it is. For everyone else, they feel pretty good about it. Triumph, though. They're tired of being squeezed. They're tired of being shut down. They're tired of being fodder. Because that's all they are to Walco. At least in this round. Sure, there's Deagles, but they were doing damage with those before. They were making it a bit more competitive, getting bomb plants down. Triumph is just looking to be cleaned up at this stage. RBG even building up a bit of money. Nothing too big, but you know, it's a humble beginning.
All right, it's all about this a break round if they can get it. Just find some success. Crack into a bomb site, hold a post plant. That's all they need, I feel like, to get the engine started here for Triumph. But yeah, gonna really sit back for this one. Don't want to be receiving nades over towards Banana. We've seen a couple deep nades mid that won't be thrown in from RBG. Hate has snuck up onto the balcony, though, and they're doubled up in the apartment. Wiz is there to cover, and this apartment's pressure is so well placed here from RBG, getting both kills.
You either get naded or you just get read like a book. George, though, maybe it's his time to finally shine. Maybe it's time to get something done. Is he going to be able to find anything? Yes, he is. First kill of the round. Chop's hoping a flashback can help him, but he peeks out anyway. George has got two. That's what happens when he doesn't get slowed down by nades.
Looking real good here for Triumph now to hold on to this post plant. They have some mollies as well to buy more time, but they're all within this bomb site.
Falling to the back of it. Hex has got it done, but 60's quick peek out's going to trade him immediately. Still a 2-on-2. Got a nade in Jitter's hands. He wants to pull it out. Good flashbang. 60 walks into that one, and he's been found because of it, but Jitter still cut off. Wiz. Afraid about a player in the back lines, but not sure why that is. Oh, B-Wells catching a straight bullet, but he'll trade regardless. Triumph wins, but barely so. RBG is going to only have money rather to buy for one more round.
And that's exactly the type of round Triumph need. One, George is able to break past the barrier, get himself on the board, finding those two entries into that B bomb site that are so necessary to get them into that position. And then even though they're within the site, that one Molotov wasn't clean enough to flush out a player without going traded. So really just playing the numbers advantage and leading off as much time as humanly possible. This is where I'm kind of hoping that RBG, or rather Triumph, do make this resurgence, because you can see that RBG money, it ain't pretty. Double ult though may be enough to change things up enough.
Oh. Walco. He's been solid on this B-bomb side so far. Honestly, wouldn't have minded him sticking to the rifle for a while longer. He looked really good on it. Come on, Walco. Shoot him through the wall. You know you want to. There's a player right next to him as well. He's going to peek out. It's B wants to get one, and that's a second straight out to it. George is just happy he's not being naded. He's like, well, okay, I know what to do now. Whew. I've actually got full HP for once. Can't say the same about Hate.
LA just clocked the cat ears there for Hate, by the way.
Maui Snake would be proud, of course. Or rather, Meowie Snake.
Okay, you really went for it, huh?
I had to do it, Michael. I had to do it.
Yeah, and trying for doing it to They're really putting up a fight in these past couple of rounds, finally cracking into that B bomb site, and now a subsequent round as well where they get that double entry. This time it doesn't have to be George pushing into the site. RBG were looking for that information and trying to time a push themselves. And it ain't all turning up Millhouse. RBG are going to meet some resistance. The save is big, though. The fact that they've got the AWP still online by a Wiz and a couple of rifles. Don't expect that RBG will heavily invest in, but at very least they can work around with what they saved.
I am a little bit surprised that they didn't at least drop Thomas's over, you know? Obviously, wouldn't have that much utility, and we've seen how much of their success is centered around it, so I don't hate it. But Wiz getting aggressive is nice, unfortunately for him. Thinks he's ready, he expected that, and say, either they're gonna nade me and I'm dying, or I'm getting a kill right now, boys.
Yeah, no nades, no problem.
Yeah, that seems to be exactly what the call is on this side. Hex, however, is also not a problem. Exceeds comes through with a double. Turns out, all you need to do is just get all the entry kills.
Well, all right. They had those 2 rifles over on that A site, and Exceed makes it look all too easy. Rifles? What? I mean, they were full save, right?
Wait, you guys said they wouldn't have money. I peeked out because of that. Oh, they worked, didn't it? Oh, no.
They get nothing from those weapons.
That's rough.
Hey, this is that bounce back. There's that small crack that's needed.
You give them an inch, they're going to trip you over and start walking for the mile.
Yeah, all that mental damage as a result of utility, you know, it's worn off. It only lasts a few rounds.
Yeah, concussions aren't forever, hopefully.
One would hope. Indeed.
Yeah. Unless you are an athlete for a very particular game.
You mean the one where they run at people head first?
Yes, indeed. Yeah. And then they were surprised that they get head injuries.
Interesting.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, some parts of culture I will never understand, but
well, they don't invest too much here on the side of RBG, just some utility around these upgraded pistols. A couple bits of armor as well. Gives you some more feasibility. You know, if a couple rifles are recovered, gives you better fights. And now Triumph can navigate this banana area uncontested, not having to worry about too much. Of course, they'll expend the utility just to be sure. Got that 3rd man hovering this B site as well for RBG.
Yeah, the butterfly float is generally what I called it, but I have a feeling it's about to be about as deadly as a butterfly as well. As they're starting to move through, there's some great flashes. He's got one, but Wonko's responded actually, and they haven't moved forward yet. He's still got the 5-7 close range, picks up the AK as well. How are you getting past this? Is the big question, and Triumph is asking themselves that very same thing. Exceed's got an incendiary picked up from a CT. But where is he going to deploy it? Is he going to deploy it? Oh, Wildco's found. B-Wills takes him down. The CTs aren't going to be ready to try and work off of that. Triumph wait out. Oh my god, Wiz! You've got to be joking. Might not have too much of an impact on the round, but even so. He's going to be feeling good about himself from that one.
Don't think they'll get too much more from this, in spite of the casual smoke spam there from Wiz. The AWPer around the corner, and 60 takes a couple of shots, but responds in kind. Yeah, that Wiz Dig, I'm pretty sure he wasn't fully stopped. He still had some inaccuracy applied to that, but it's a bit ridiculous that it connects, but ultimately doesn't lead into a round win. We had a very confident, strong showing at the start of this map from RBG, but now Triumph have unlocked what they need to bring things back into action. This buy could be that final key to the puzzle, final piece. Gonna tie things up. A lot of utility damage once again applied to George. Not quite as deadly as we've seen some others.
That nade could have done a lot more. Exceed barely managing to dodge out the timing on that one.
Now taking deep banana control here on the side of RBG. So this is going to have to be reworked here from Triumph if they want to threaten this B site, which has been the end objective in a fair few of these rounds.
They are, however, ready to send 3 people funneling over. They've gone for extra flashes this round. They've got double flashes on 3 players, so they definitely have the utility necessary to retake banana. But what's it going to be? Chop's getting ready. Secondary flash might be needed. He's not going to peek out. He's too worried about 60's AWP. And Walco, as he gets beat into's already good for 1. A flashbang should actually give him a lot of space, but it's too late. Chop tries to move back for the quick rundown for it, rather than shucking it over.
Look at these heavy rotations.
Yeah,
RBG are almost like full gambling on this. No, I think the call's been made. Like, care about the A bomb site. Don't get caught.
Yeah, but Hate's actually over here. Cat airs and all. He's gonna catch out Hexton with his demise. The A bomb site's exactly where they're headed over to, but or is it rather a quick smoke to delay? Jitter could stop this push from short. He's not gonna be expected. First comes through, almost gets 2, but B-Wills is good for the trade. The bomb site is taken. There's no utility to retake it. This might be a safe call.
Yeah, it's going to be. If somebody had peeked mid at that time, Chop may have, gone with the flow on that one, but Triumph are just slow working the map, and as soon as that lower B or that lower banana push does fail from RBG, you can see them starting to move over a little, kind of jumping the gun in that respect, not getting an advanced position on that A bomb site. No deeper information, didn't peek down middle or anything to really justify the call, nor heavy footsteps over towards that B site. So it feels like the communication may have broken down a little bit, because you saw them re-navigate, be like, oh, okay, actually, no, never mind, it could be the A site.
Yeah.
Which, like you were saying, Hate with his cat ears heard them.
Makes
saw
sense,
them coming.
actually. Makes a lot of sense when you think about it.
Well, he's died 8 times, so he's on his last life. That's true.
True. Michael, what would be great? If everyone just agreed to call it American soccer instead of American football. I would love that.
It's just football in the States, so.
I know, but it would just be great if everywhere outside of the state they call it American soccer. Oh, whiz, though. He's called out Exceed a couple of times over there. Very quick back to the stairs, and he's able to find the first peak. And with this B-Wills being as low as he is, this seems to be a call out for better days for RBG. Back in the day when they could actually get damage in early. Wiz's demise, though, not too reassuring.
Yeah, this is off of that saved AK and AWP. So the more they dwindle down this HP, these pistols can become more engaged. See Triumph bunkering down. Making any rapid movement. Smoke over towards top B as well. The meanwhile, Jitter's flashed up, and that AWP has been heard. So they know that's still positioned over on this A-bomb site. Won't want to be going that direction. Walco mollied out, but gets round past the timing just as they were boosting.
Careful, Walco. Peeking directly in, with that many players behind the smoke can end terribly. RBG still aren't going for a stack because they've got a smoke and they think they can delay for long enough, but the call might be to push through this pretty soon, or rotating back, though, might not be the worst of ideas. It's only one player once again over towards that A-bomb side, and he's only got a deagle. Hex is once... I mean, one more time he's in this incredibly difficult situation. And he's been spotted out too. I believe that might have been a spam. Yeah, okay, just a spam. He peeks out, can't get a single, and yeah, RBG might just be forced to go for a secondary save. If Hex had dropped the bomb, maybe finds a kill, they can think about it, but going for this over here is a bold move, unless Walco can maybe just find Hate, but even then, yeah, seems more to be for an exit frag, and an AK picked up. Big kill. Big kill for Walco to find.
Yeah, he was just on a recovery mission, only had a 5-7. He had the armor as well, but it's not as though they couldn't afford up a buy in the follow-up round. Of course, losing now, 6 rounds in a row. They are maxed out on that cash. And the loss bonus, not the cash that you'd much prefer. Triumph in their heads a little bit. You know, it feels like they have a good read on how RBG are reacting on the CT side. When we weren't really sure what the mid-rounding would bring from this Triumph lineup, they're circumnavigating some of these stacks and calls that RBG are going for, especially now that they've lost so many rounds in a row. They're, I think, recognizing that RBG are a little desperate to get back to winning ways.
And that's despite the fact that they have had a couple of these rounds now where they've got these good entries as well. You even have to look back to the first round where George actually got the big double entry. They found 2 kills before he responds. That's basically an exchange across the map. Sure, they get the side off of it, and that's how they actually win out the round, but it's not all that one-sided in the beginning of rounds. It's just these post spawns where RBG is so slow to rotate sometimes, and when they do rotate, this seems to be the incorrect rotation call to make.
It's like that Sixth Sense activates in Triumph. Like, wait a second, what if we, instead of going to this bomb site, go to the other bomb site? You mean to tell me that there were 2 all this time?
Gasp. What next, 3? Hopefully not. Not in my lifetime, at the very least. Nate down mid's not going to find anything. Walco immediately smokes himself off, and he's still hoping to be able to assist Wiz in this defense of upper banana. Chop. Now, flashbang could have been quite nice if they wanted to give this up. Molly's going to force out a player, or at least force him to smoke. But that nade, it doesn't go deep. Oh, he does? What?
Yeah, I think it actually bounced off the wall instead of making it over the wall at the logs. So,
and it really worked out more. Wiz, though. Oh, this boost is going to be big. Can he react to it? Are they even going for a boost at this stage? Does look like it. Wiz, come on, just fire through. You know you want to do it. There's a. Come on.
Oh
come
God,
on, Wiz.
Don't peek forward. If he does, that's a death sentence. He's lost his timing as well.
Yeah, no way he can get this one, and he's maybe cognizant of that fact. And as George is starting to peek through, there won't be a flashbang. Gun barrel has been shown. Wiz is aware of a player nearby, has to be careful. The flash is going to come through. He dodges it out, peeks in, and that's the second time George has been able to get a kill like that. He seems to know it's coming over.
Oh, and this lurking play from Hate. Hex wasn't really prepared for that trade, but now they're collapsing on the B bomb site. Walco at the back of it has to stay alive for a little longer.
Chop doesn't have too much to do because of that smoke, and Walco, like you mentioned, it's all about survival. Isn't able to maintain it or actually get the double kill needed to maintain numbers, and with the bomb being planted safe, Chop and Hex are once again in what looks like an impossible situation. No utility either. A flashbang that could have been good if it was maybe just a smidgen earlier so that Chop can get the peek out. Hex and Chop, both of them doubling up. That's the first gone already. Chop's out, and Hex will follow.
Man, 60 on this AWP has been a menace. Even when they were losing rounds at the start, 60 was still putting up some solid numbers, but now as well, with them being able to convert on top, looking mighty fine. And they called a timeout ahead of that round. RBG, of course, they're trying to find this solution, something that kind of continues to elude them. Or maybe not that last round, the round prior. Even still, they're trying to find the answer to their problem. And maybe they didn't know what part of their solution was at the start of this game. How much those nades were really doing. Of course, they were finding kills, but a lot of it was often just damage. And with the adaptation now from Triumph, not always going for the fast spawns in towards that banana position, it feels like one of those weapons has deteriorated. This CT side was looking so pretty, but Triumph's response has looked even better.
The problem is even over here where you see that, yeah, they look like they should be in position. They get the first kill as well, but the bomb's still so far away that Triumph is happy to pull the trigger on rotating through. Wiz being here on this A bomb sites generally happen when there's a few more players there early on anyway. That might be the read, that might be the call.
That's a limit test from Hate as well, just to see how much they could let him get away with effectively, because he's been clearing those arches so many times over and basically never been spotted. He's hoping to go with a faster timing.
And now, at the very least, Chop has come through. He's got a flashbang to help out. Quick one overhead is going to let Walco peek, but he's being sprayed down regardless. Chop's good for one, and he managed to get the transport to 2, even makes it 3. USB pulled out, but not in time to make a difference. Fortunately for him, Jitter was right around the corner, can come through and get that frag. RBG find the 7 off the back of what seems like, for maybe one of the first times we've seen, and a pretty decently timed rotation. And a flashbang with it.
Yeah, that's hell of a play there from Chop. He was kind of caught out in the open because he was trying to tease his teammate up with that flash and peek with him. But with Walco getting dropped in the bomb site so quickly, he just had to do it on his own. And, you know, you could see him transitioning and getting those kills all while still moving. Really big stuff there from Chop to lock things out over at B. And maybe they squeak out a half victory towards the tail end of this. That would be exactly what the doctor ordered for these Panthers, but Triumph are looking hot, and I don't think they're going to be deterred by that one round that goes askew.
RBG would really like to be able to have the momentum of 2, though.
For sure.
No matter how much that momentum may reset at halftime, yeah, they like that. Oh, Wiz, though. Can't quite catch out the player. Exceed in the meanwhile. Hoping to find a quick one on the Wiz, who is still going to start to peek forward, and XC doesn't adjust his crosshair in time. Always going to be difficult against the AWP pre-aiming into you unless you're ready for a jitter.
Oh.
Gets turned around upon. B will 180s him, and Wiz is down as well. Suddenly, this A-bomb side is looking a lot more accessible. Hex hasn't put up too many big defenses, but maybe now's his time. Gets 2 quick frags, and as the bomb will move on to the bomb site, scouts him out as well. He's forced into the open, and George will pluck him out of it. Still, even Steven. Walco and Chop have got plenty of utility as well amongst the 2 of them. Where is that utility going to end up going? Going to be a little bit too late for that particular molly. 6E and company are both doubled up inside the pit area. Double flash over as well, and they're able to move into the bomb site because of it. Chop, however, goes graveyard instead. Finds a quick one. Walco as well will at least help him out over there, and that's how they get the 8th round. RBG may have floundered in the beginning, but at least they end up with a lead before we go into a quick break for halftime.
They will watch us shake the ground. Oh, it's like this. It will fill the air around. Oh, not asleep or awake. Oh, let the future escape. Burning dreams take me back to you. In the night when I heard you
And we're back into things. RBG have managed to limp across that halftime line, but the finish line is still far away. And I don't blame those odds, even if they are in the lead. They did not look like it, Michael.
Yeah, things certainly came together towards the tail end for Triumph. You know, the mid-round decision-making seemed to go quite well on that T side. Let's see if things can continue here for Triumph. Whether they're going to be able to break past that mental block that seemed to plague them at the start. Sixy has been sharp all map long. And now finding a nice clean entry, and he gets away.
I know you say mental block, Michael. Well, let's be honest. 60 is just a physical barrier to victory for RBG right now. 17 and 10. And B-Wills is hoping that he can be a bit of a barrier himself too, even if he is blocked off by smokes. And RBG have no idea how many players are on this. That smoke of his does go a little bit awry. B-Wills, regardless, finds one through the CT spawn smoke. And now suddenly it's a 5-on-3 with them having a kit.
No useful for the T side, and they have that kit indeed. And they are close to the action, not letting them escape. Walco drops that kit out in the open. Walco's got 2. He's pushing for even more. This is massive from Walco. 3 kills, and this tees up Chop for the 1v2.
And may have overextended a little bit with their last one, but you're right, 3 kills is big. He was hoping that his teammates would be able to deliver as well, but now it all comes down to Chop. Pistol round Mastermind, but not quite this time. Hate comes in. The bodyguard, look at 60, man. He's just so hyped up. You can see he's in the zone.
Oh, especially because Chop has been so good at delivering in some of these crucial rounds. He's had that snappy aim as well.
Yeah. You could almost believe it.
Yeah, there was always that chance. Triumph weren't going to be too happy if they let that 3-on-5 transpire in that fashion. And yeah, those additional 2 players are what make the difference.
All right, Jetta's able to dodge out that nade, sees it passing straight by him. Triumph are playing very defensively on this B-bomb, so it's quite interesting to see because, you know, obviously they've got so much utility that they feel comfortable with that. They just need B-Wolves to be jiggle peeking, but man, I really wish we'd see more, and I feel like this might be added a bit more to the meta. Oh, nice timing on Walco, but Jitter's the one who's traded away. And yeah, 60's been very solid with keeping things under control, but I'd love to see more nade stacks over to like coffins and CT spawn if a team's playing as defensive as it is. Speaking of nades, that's quite a juicy one. George even follows up with a kill over towards the one healthy player who seemed to be there.
A little taste of their own medicine. I like that. George willing to take those fights, especially when he has those. They have those MP9s. Just have that Molotov available should they try and burst into B with RBG taking that banana control. That is certainly on the cards. Yep, smoke out. There's the molly in return.
So much utility being used already, and they can't do anything about it. Bomb's been dropped, and B-Wills will follow right next to that bomb. Hex, however, actually gets 2. They're back in a 2v2. There isn't another smoke to be able to refresh, but there's still enough time on the CT smoke for them to be able to get into solid post-plant positions. Hex is going to hope that this dissipating smoke on Coffin's going to give him an advantage, but there's no one to actually face down. Chop's the only one with proper HP, so again, it really is almost a 1-on-2 for him. Hex can be at least a point of information, though. And that's going to be helping out a fair bit. Smoke comes out for the coffins. That's going to make things difficult. Chops is going to be moving through. Good flashbang. But that's actually going to blind out his own teammate. Oh, hold the point. Hex is trying to spray. He can't quite line it up. Hex barely gets one at the very end of it. Just the way his HP is. That's how they managed to get that one even. Tracing at the second. Knew he was a goner regardless. At least takes the CTs with him. I don't know how he gets that one.
It's like the last bullet or the last 2 where Hex spray connects. That is so ridiculous. He was off the mark by a fair margin.
Yeah. And that even looked like he was fading away, and that's just one of those bullets that connects. It's like Wiz's Deagle shot, really.
He was just trying, he was as well just trying to reposition, I think, because he was missing that spray, so he didn't get spammed back because he was low HP.
Yeah.
It's such a ridiculous way to win a round. That's a Hail Mary for RBG.
Like I said before, Michael, what I would not pay to be in those TeamSpeak comms right now.
Just bewildered. I think it would be a good way to describe how a Triumph feel in some of these rounds. And maybe it'll be, you know, similar story to the start of this map. Maybe Triumph will be a little slow running in the second half.
Gotta be careful, Charge. He's gonna be able to get away from the Molotov for now, but these Deagles could still be deadly. A lot of damage dealt. B-Wills will find only one, though. Could have been two potentially lined up if he'd been able to get the headshot on the first, but obviously, man, Deagle with players and SMGs running you down, never fun. Not unless you're happy, at least. And there's one thing hate isn't, it's happy.
Stone cold. Cat face killer.
Very bright face killer as well, if he's able to get this one. Quick shot coming out, and the Deags are gonna ring true. Still not much time left, and they won't be able to get the defuse out. They know it on the RBG side, but still, that is gonna be weapons lost in that process. A lot of rebuying is needed. Armor will need to be repurchased. A couple more MAC-10s to be brought out, but this is where Triumph themselves don't have the money to buy up, so they should be able to farm some cash.
Yeah, that's a lot of economic damage being done. So they'll want a clean round off the back of that. RBG up to those double digits. Yeah. This is where they thought they might have deserved to be much earlier into this map. We'll keep an eye on Hate.
Yeah.
And the MAC-10 could get that extra money himself.
Quite possibly. Of course, it doesn't help that everyone on RBG is very much stocked, locked, and ready to go.
Not to mention, Hate's got a smoke ready. On hearing that deployed, Jitter may try and take some territory.
Yeah, and this is 4 players over here trying to protect out the brackets. Of course, XC's a little bit on the further side, but even so, 60's got a Deagle. The MAC-10 you mentioned earlier on Hate, could definitely see things going wrong.
Well, Art Smoke, 60 round the other side of it. Maybe just looking for a timing for the spam. Maybe a little bit early. RBG were delayed in getting this brackets control. You can see RBG dialing themselves back over towards Banana. They've actually called for George to make that rotate over. It's like, why don't we just stack this site, boys? And it seems to be the wrong call. RBG stacks on their CT side weren't too successful. Triumph gonna meet that same fate. Hey, look at this full execute on an open bomb site.
I mean, can't hate them too much for it. At the same time, you always have to be cautious.
Sometimes you have to take those gambles.
Yeah, it's just, if you've not been given any information with pistols, either you're going to get a bit aggressive, or you're just going to gamble. There's no in-between for it. Triumph choose the gamble. That's perfectly fine. RBG should just be able to clean this one up, though. It does also limit any sort of exit kill potential there might exist. 60 as well. It's going to be peeking in. Chops here to make sure he can't get anything out of it. 1 kill's not bad. You know, George, however, only picking up a MAC-10. That's not the kill you wanted.
No money made on the MAC-10. Come on, man. I just want $1 in my pocket. Loss bonus, of course, going to contribute to the buy instead. No kill bonuses. Not too many at the very least. And, I mean, 60 has kind of just been owning it on rifles and AWP, so I guess I don't hate that he's gone to the rifle here. Of course, that's the economic territory they stand, where they couldn't afford it anyway, but you know, they could have taken a few more provisions on one of those force buy rounds, perhaps.
Yeah.
And they're working with not exactly a lot of utility here on Triumph, and a lot of that's already been thrown in the early stages. Some nades over towards that banana position. Mid's been smoked out quite early. And so the defensive play that Triumph have been going for on the CT side will continue. Meanwhile, RBG are creeping into these apartments.
And it's all going to come down to the quick duels to be 1 Exceed. Fully blinded up, though, makes those duels a bit unfair. 60 still good for 1, and Hate's going to be the second one they're not ready for. However, Chop just keeps an eye out for it. Shuts him down. Very similar to the Barton Taco combination we saw earlier on, but not quite similar results because the funnel from Triumph was over the pit, not actually inside the bomb site itself.
That is a hell of a lot of trust in the strategy. 2 players from RBG jump knife out from the apartments. And sure enough, the player on the other side of those doors was full blind. So immediate punishment for that.
And, you know, a lot of that call comes down to also understanding and recognizing that Triumph's likely tendencies of going for a rifle rather than maybe a few SMGs. Because, hell, they have an incendiary there. Yeah, you're not going anywhere. No, an incendiary down a minibit, incendiary down to the pit cross, anything like that. It just becomes a hell of a round for them.
Yeah, grab from Masters perhaps as well.
Yeah.
Just M4s. And yeah, it's certainly not ideal stuff. That A1S, not as dominant as we prophesize. Not quite yet.
I believe, Michael. It'll be like the Avatar. Comes back to right the balance of the CT&T side. But much like the Avatar, will probably take another 4 seasons to kind of try to get there.
Yeah, how many books are we talking here?
Yeah, quite a few, Michael. More than I have in my library. Even so. Oh, that's going to be a juicy one. X and Wiz, not too happy about it, but at the same time, making a begrudgingly admit, okay, we probably have it coming to
he's
us.
lining up a Molotov.
Did it, and he's been caught out. The second kill could be found too, but the flash is fantastic, and 60 can take advantage of it. The only thing that Nade's finding is a chicken, and Hate is finding Hexed. Already an advantage accrued for the CT side, and George is hoping to push it further ahead, but it's actually 60 who's fallen, and Walco to double it up. He's had a few of these crazy moments, 21 and 11 right now, and Jitter, he hears that M4, silenced or not, he knows where it is.
Well, Exceed rounding the corner, and Jitter's already in place, so it's double kills from both him and Walco. The double entry into the B bomb site was going to be a tricky one, but he plucked them apart. Here's just the one that secures that cherry on top. Like you said, you know, he hears that A1S rattling off those shots from spawn. May not hear the silencer or even that, you know, that muzzle flash, the explosions of the gun, but he hears those bullets whizzing on by.
Yeah.
And Triumph have still not gotten around here on this CT side. This could be, this is a crucial point. Now, they need to be able to get something going, and now they get 60 on that AWP. They'll have that additional utility by virtue of that accrued loss bonus.
For a second, I thought that nade was going to go just a smidgen deeper than it did. Flashbang is not going to mean anything. You can't push through the smoke with a Molotov behind it. No siree. Triumph, however, have been worse for wear on B-Wills' side. And as you see a little bit more going through, B-Wills once again been tickled down to 40. God, 60's really just standing out from the pack on his scoreboard, isn't he?
Yeah. Been relatively consistent. Hasn't always resulted in round wins is what's unfortunate about it. They've got a whole lot of flashes here on the side of Triumph. Whether or not they're going to be able to throw them out is a big question mark. You see B-Wills smoke primed. George on the jiggle peak. And Execute coming over towards B.
Oh, they prioritize flashing over. B-Will's good for the first. George is able to push out through the smoke and go for more damage as well. Great timings on those, but RBG actually have the timing as well. It all comes down to whether Hate can win this duel. And he re-peeks back into it. Jitter was ready, catches him off and shuts him down. Now only Exceed to worry about. And he's playing from the back of the bomb site inside the pit itself. Will he be discovered? A Molotov inside? Hell yes. No smoke to dissipate it, but at least he gets one before he's taken out. The bomb can be recovered and planted though, and they have a smoke from Moto. So Triumph aren't going to get a free round just quite yet.
Bit of a weird Moto smoke. There is a gap around that side. Jitter will take an advanced position at Graveyard, doing for the elevation, not sitting at the wall. And this could be massive. Chop just has to drag attention away from the site.
And the fact that they're actually moving in from arches could work out perfectly. Chop's waiting over. Flashbang comes through, taking the fuel, but it's not quite worked out. And there it goes. Still so much fighting coming in. What's going to happen over here?
Oh my goodness, no! Chop, you can't do it to him! 3 kills when it looked like that setup for RBG in the post plant breaks down. Triumph jumping in towards that graveyard. That's where Chop digs that much deeper. Still flawless on the run on this T side. That is massive stuff. It's another clutch that goes RBG's way. Man, they're so excited they're leaving the bomb in spawn.
Yeah. Just one of those moments where you're thinking, yeah, everything's being set up for Jitter. It's all going to be Jitter. It's all... No, Chop just comes up big, man. Might not be performing consistently, but when he does, he brings out multis. That's the kind of player you need sometimes for that X factor. Oh, well. That's also quite nice. Wiz just finds himself a quick one. Exceed, though, good position, but not a good result. Jitter takes out 2, and RBG well on their way to 15.
Well, one consolation frag then from 6C, but the adjustment won't be made appropriately. Tag on Jitter. He survives on 1 HP. And it's George against the world.
With a CZ. Not the best of combinations.
Yeah, Chop's full HP around that corner. Oh, okay, never mind. Just sets up Jitter for another kill.
Yeah. Did look quite snappy, though.
Yeah, I mean, if I was worried when RBG got the ball rolling on that CT side that Triumph were just because of the way that they were losing, you know, constantly getting berated and bombarded by the utility. You know, the nades were throwing insults at them as they were flying and exploding in their faces, that they would have mentally checked out, you know, but they bounced back. They were able to get back into this game. But now on the CT side, it seems like they're meeting a similar story. RBG, even in the closer rounds, are able to whistle away with a victory.
I don't know if that smoke was intended to go that deep. It succeeded to find Jitter in the very beginning of things, but is he going to expect a secondary lurk here? Chop might be looking to come through. The flashbang is good. It gives him a position, but he's turned around. Exceed should have a freebie. Doubles it up to start things off, and Triumph need a few more of those if they want to keep it going.
Seems to hit a bit of a calm, smoking towards middle. They'll have to wait for that one to fade if RBG want to re-aggress over towards this A side. You can see Exceed still taking up that position in towards Boiler. They may expect that he goes a bit more passive, but Exceed has been big in this round.
Alcohol in the meanwhile tagged up to down to 25, and look at this double push out through towards the apartments. They're not ready at all, but oh, are they? 6C instantly finds a kill courtesy of the adjustment, and with another from the back lines, Hate is just going to be swimming in happiness. And Walco, you've had a great game, Walco, so far. Really outperforming expectations, really putting up numbers when your team needs it, getting those entries, but I don't know about this one, Walco, and neither does Exceed.
I'm actually a little surprised that no-scope doesn't hit, in all fairness.
I agree, actually. That looked like it should have.
Yeah. The thing does fly pretty straight on the little crouch no-scope, but not to be. RBG do have the funds to reinvest into this, not without its shortcomings, but they have already secured themselves up to that 15, and they still have all that ride of momentum. Feels like a speed bump on the path to victory. This is Triumph's map pick as well, so the fact that things have gone in this fashion, they've had to breach past these mental barriers time and time over. There is that added layer of concern. And you know, the B-bomb site's been pretty successful, all in all, from RBG. They've now met some resistance that direction. Of course, that's how we ended up in that crazy, chaotic Chop 1v3. You know, the initial aggression was punished. And now they lose a round over on that A site. So Triumph are getting closer in these rounds. I think because of how successful the B site has been in this half, you know, it does make sense that they are going back in that direction. All these smokes that are thrown only act as deterrents, just a bit of a distraction. Hate's already made that rotation over as well, so he can be a quick man to support.
Full setup going in on towards the B-bomb side, and Hate's going to provide a lot more than just support over here, Michael. The utility being sent forward is crucial. George good for one, but the trades are fantastic. B-Will's still alive in the back lines, but that life is temporary, Michael, much like most lives. Double smoke out for CT isn't ideal, but they're not too bothered about it. Triumph have got to get onto this bomb site with an AWP and an AK. Not the ideal combination, but at the very least, they both got a lot of offensive utility. 60 and Incendiary gonna be used out. At least it'll clear out one spot. A second one would be nice to get the instant kill onto Walco, but it doesn't look like it will be able to spread. Yes, it will. Walco can't move out in time. 16 now reveals his position, scoping aggressively forward, drops down, had a chance for Exceeds there on the trade, not good enough. Wiz is the one to crack it out. RBG get themselves to 16.